Garino, you know, they're all performing at top levels. So I think it's going to be a tight game. It's hard to call between Chelsea and Arsenal on their day. You know, both of them can beat each other. Really, it's just what team turns up, because you can see there's been quite shock results or big results between both of them in the past. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, quick final thought on that, because Arsenal got this last season, didn't they? If you had to go for one of these sides, who do you think can clinch it on Sunday?
I'm going to go with Chelsea. I just think on the day that they're used to winning more. You know, Arsenal are a top team, but I think Chelsea, over the years, they've picked up silverware. They know what it takes on the big occasions, plus the Emma Hayes factor, her leaving. Yeah, I'm going with Chelsea.
Could be the first trophy for a potential quadruple on Sunday. They take on Arsenal then in that League Cup final. Natasha, thank you. You're back with us next Saturday on our Sports World team. It'll be good to speak to you again then.
See you then. Take care, guys.
All the best, thank you. Natasha Dowie reflecting on the Women's Super League today with that win for Manchester City. It finished 2-2 between Aston Villa and Leicester City. So Chelsea looking for that first trophy in the quadruple on Sunday. We'll have reaction to that and, of course, live commentary with the title race in the Premier League. Manchester City against Arsenal from 14 GMT, all the build-up tomorrow. We're focusing on the relegation situation. Luton are leading at Tottenham and Forest trailing to Palace. Back with the second half after the news.
BBC News with Sue Montgomery. A second ship carrying food aid to the Gaza Strip has set sail from the Cypriot port of Larnaca. It's the second shipment along a maritime corridor set up after few land convoys were able to reach starving people in northern Gaza due to Israeli restrictions and security issues. David Bamford reports.
A vessel chartered by the US-based World Central Kitchen and Spain's Open Arms charity has left Larnaca. It's towing a platform loaded with 400 tons of supplies bound for Gaza. On the first maritime mission from Cyprus earlier in March, in an arrangement agreed by Israel, a ship carrying 200 tons moored alongside a makeshift jetty off the Gaza coast. Separately, the United States is working to construct a floating pier off Gaza to receive aid by the end of April.
Global food experts have warned that a year of civil war in Sudan and a failure to deliver aid has left millions of people facing imminent famine. A UN-backed food authority says there must be a ceasefire to avoid widespread deaths. Children under 5 are most at risk. The Indian Navy says it's freed a hijacked Iranian fishing vessel and rescued its crew from 9 armed pirates in the Arabian Sea. A statement added that the 23-member Pakistani crew was safe. Anbarasa Natarajan reports.
The Indian Navy said the Iranian ship was intercepted by 2 of its naval vessels and that the pirates surrendered after 12 hours of what it described as coercive tactical measures. The fishing vessel Al-Kambar 786 was reported to have been boarded by pirates on Thursday off the coast of Yemen. Specialist teams have boarded the ship for further checks and to escort her to a safer area to resume normal fishing activities. There has been an increase in piracy since Yemen's Houthi rebels started attacking merchant ships in the nearby Red Sea after the outbreak of war in Gaza.
The Ukrainian authorities say 537 children have been killed in Ukraine since the Russian invasion 2 years ago. Warren Bull reports.
Ukraine's Office of the Attorney General said more than half of the deaths had been in the Russian-annexed region of Donetsk. The confirmed figures of 1,800 child deaths and injuries are consistent with those provided by the United Nations Children's Agency, which stresses the real total is likely to be much higher. Since the war began more than 2 years ago, several million young people have been displaced to other parts of Ukraine and abroad. The UN says thousands of others have been forcibly transferred to Russia or areas of Ukraine under its control for adoption by Russian families in what the agency calls a war crime.
World News from the BBC. Sports World, Premier League Saturday, live with Lee James.
Welcome back to Sports World's Premier League Saturday. Already today, Newcastle beating West Ham 4-3 in an absolute thriller at St James's Park. Need a few more goals in this next 45 minutes to have another thriller. Not many goals around, but Chelsea do lead Burnley 1-0 through that Cole Palmer penalty. And Luton 1-0 up against Tottenham. Tahitha Chong with their goal early in the game, which has a significance for Nottingham Forest. This is the sound of the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest had that 4-point deduction. And now they're in the relegation zone. And they are trailing by a 1-0. Jean-Philippe Mateta for Crystal Palace. So there's work to do at the City Ground. Goalless between Bournemouth and Everton, Sheffield United and Fulham. The goals as they go in, as the Nottingham Forest fans try to create the noise and the atmosphere. It's going to be a big 45 minutes in the sunshine at Nottingham. Let's rejoin our commentary team. Pat Nevin and Ian Dennis going through the teams.
Felipe and Aina. Then you've got Yates, Gibbs-White, Ilanga, Origi, Hudson-Odoi and Chris Wood. Crystal Palace in their white shirts and sky blue shorts. Henderson in goal. Back three of Ward, Anderson and Richards. Munoz and Mitchell are the wing-backs right and left respectively. Lerma and Wharton in the midfield with Ayew and Eza behind the goal scorer Mateta, who gave Palace an 11th minute lead. And Forest, if you've just joined us, are indebted to their goalkeeper Matt Sells for making sure that they didn't slip further behind with a very important save on Eza. And that was after 7 minutes before half time. So Forest straight away get a throw on this near side that Hudson-Odoi goes back to Gibbs-White, and Elanga's gone central, Pat.
Yes, exactly what I thought. So during the first half, they've got three big centre halves. So they're almost saying to Forest, yeah, go away, put the crosses in. We're 3 against 1. So it's really simple. You just put a striker on there, so the numbers are a little bit more even. You know, you've got less in midfield, but keep on getting the balls in. They've got more numbers in there now.
Here is Ilanga, right side of the area, back to Williams. Attacking the Trent end here at the City Ground. Williams offside. And the flag goes up. Crystal Palace supporters will be hoping that they maybe can get a second goal before they approach the last 5 minutes of games, because this season Palace have conceded more goals in 5 minutes of the Premier League than any other, 14, but 10 of them have come in the 90th or plus minutes, which is astonishing.
It's astonishing me. I've been looking at this all season. I think a lot of people have. It's been ridiculous, and I know and I understand that the games are longer now, and you've got more goals have been scored after the 90th, or around about the 90th and after. But it's the importance of those goals. Been incredible, particularly I think Forest have really suffered. So have Luton, it has to be said.
Yes. Here is Aina over the halfway line on this near side. Hudson-Odoi passes the ball down the line. It goes out of play for a throw. As we mentioned, Dorothy and her 100th birthday. Talking of birthdays, of course, 5 Live celebrated its 30th birthday on Thursday. And if you wish to relive 30 years of 5 Live Sports, 30 great sporting moments, you can actually find it on BBC Sounds from 7:30 on Thursday night, or it's in its entirety as a podcast, BBC Sounds, but that's only available for 6 days. So if you don't do it in the next week, then you need to go back and find it on BBC Sounds, 7:30 Thursday night, and you'll be able to do it that way. And it's easy to find, BBC Sounds, so easy to navigate. I've already got it as one of Dana's my must listen to.
Yeah. There's always good stuff to listen to. Looking at the way it started here, Reiki's out wide there. He's actually throwing himself a wee bit further forward, so that they're almost playing with a front 5.
Ball floated forward and gathered in by Henderson, who goes to ground. Watching Henderson's going to be interesting second half. All in green away towards our left, because he was warned for time wasting in the first half, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, at the start of the second half here, he's actually moved the ball quite quickly. But as the game goes on and it stays 1-0, if it does stay 1-0, there's no way in the world that he's going to go at any pace until his final yellow card, we should see.
Ward did well under pressure. Little ball inside to Wharton. And then Mateta has thrown himself to the ground under the challenge from Felipe. Felipe's got to get yellow carded, he is. Let's go to Katie Smith at Bramall Lane.
Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. A much livelier start to this second half, and Muniz has hit the post again at the back post header over Gerbic and comes off that post. Sheffield United have had a couple of chances on the break as well. No end product, 0-0.
It was a theatrical fall forward by Mateta, but as soon as the central defender goes to hold a striker and as he turns him, he's in trouble.
Yeah, and if you go that tight, it's always a danger in any player. There are certain players that you don't go that tight to. If they're bigger than you and stronger than you, it's really, really dangerous. It's a mistake by a defender. He's actually lucky it's only a yellow, because I don't think there was anyone who was going to catch Mateta, because it was a long way to go. It has to be said, it's almost on the halfway line, but he was away.
Crystal Palace lead by a goal to 0. We're in the company of the former Everton and Chelsea winger Pat Nevin here at the City Ground. Bournemouth 0, Everton 0. Chelsea lead Burnley 1-0. We just heard at Bramall Lane from Katie. And Luton Town are still leading. Well, they were. There's been a goal. Chris Cole.
And they're not anymore. Spurs are level. Deserved, because they've been much better in this second half. Timo Werner claimed it. It may well be an own goal. Ball flashed across the penalty area, and it either went in of Kabore or Werner. Either way, it's Tottenham 1, Luton 1.
And there's been a goal at Stamford Bridge. We'll go there in a moment as the corner is worked to Wharton, edge of the area, back towards Eze. And there's a flash right across the face of goal. Very well worked by Crystal Palace, and close for a second. Come in, Will Perry.
Chelsea won, 10-man Burnley won the equaliser early in this second half, and it's their captain, Josh Cullen. It's a brilliant finish. Edge of the D, outside of his boot, beats Petrovic from 23, 24 yards. Brownhill on for Brune Larsen at the break. Chelsea won, 10-man Burnley won.
Well, that is a surprise. So Luton a peg back. Burnley get themselves level. Crystal Palace, meanwhile, will try and curb a Forest attack, but the best chances have fallen to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, there have been a few of them, but they've been very good. And as we're talking about, the amount of goals that have scored this season from set pieces has been incredible. Every team works very, very hard on them. Had that gone in there from Eze, from that short corner they took, that would have been one of the best ones that we would have seen this season. Unfortunately for him, it just slid past the back post.
Worrying run of form for Nottingham Forest. They're looking for a flag that doesn't materialise, and Eze now gliding across the surface, cuts inside to the penalty area, stops in his tracks, and Felipe passes the ball out towards Origi. Origi will try and outrun Richards on that far side, but he hit the ball too long. Anderson was the covering defender. Here is Eze once again. Little push in the back by Yates, not given by the referee. Gibbs White chips the ball out to Hudson-Odoi. 7 minutes into the second half. Hudson-Odoi at pace enters the penalty area, pushed away by Henderson. Comfortable height for the goalkeeper, but a lot better from Palace. There was much more intent from that attack.
Yeah, they just look a lot more dangerous on the left-hand side there. Most of it is coming from Hudson-Odoi. Oh, and he didn't follow that one there. A bit of confusion there for the back post for Crystal Palace. But once again, Hudson-Odoi, he could have crossed the ball in, but I have to tell you, expecting more red shirts to get in there, there was only one again. You need to do better than that. Hudson-Odoi saw that and thought, forget it, I'll have a shot myself. Unlucky.
I reckon that was their first shot on target for Nottingham Forest. 52 minutes in.
Almost right.
What's the latest at Bournemouth? John Southall.
Well, it's Bournemouth 0, Everton 0, but the first chance of the second half to Bournemouth. Marcus Tavernier just inside the penalty area. His shot saved by Pickford to his left-hand side. Good stop that. Bournemouth 0, Everton 0.
They're very clever, the Forest coaching staff. They rotate it to get into the ears of the fourth official. Noticed it when he was at Wolverhampton Wanderers. So the fourth official is having to deal with different individuals. And once again, I wouldn't be surprised if they're having a word about the fourth official about the potential time wasting of Henderson.
Yeah, and hoping that the fourth official actually tells the referee, which he probably won't.
Here is Origi, picks the ball up over the halfway line, nudges it into the path of Elanga, gets himself goal side of Richards. Forest still trailed by a goal to 0. Tottenham are level with Luton. Goalless at Bramall Lane. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. In fact, every game in the Premier League at 3 o'clock this Saturday afternoon is level, with the exception of this one. As Forest give it away, sloppy. Mateta, Ward hits it, high ball out towards Eze, climbs and heads it. It'll fall towards Yates. His first touch is to take it away from Lerma. Offside against Origi. Head bowed by Nuno Espirito Santo as You know, Pat, they've picked up 6 points out of 9 in his first 3 games since 5 points out of 27.
Yeah, sometimes you do get that dead cat bounce, but it doesn't always last. And at the moment, I'm looking down at Nuno, and he's looking very, very, very disappointed with his team. But I would say particularly Origi, who has not really shown enough passion in the second half.
There's a stoppage in play. Richards is down, so we will go to Bramall Lane, where it's no longer goalless. Casey Smith.
And it's a huge goal. Sheffield United 1, Fulham 0, completely against the run of play. The ball comes in from the left, and Ben Brereton Diaz with the tap-in. Past Leno in goal. The fans going wild. Sheffield United 1, Fulham 0.
So as it stands, reading up from the bottom of the table, you've got Sheffield United 17, Burnley 18, Nottingham Forest 21, and Luton Town on 23. Everton 26, but there is a points deduction again to come for Everton. Still not missing any of the action. Lengthy delay here at the City Ground. We'll go to Warrington in the Super League, and Ian Chisnell.
Well, Catalan flew out of the traps in the start, and they've done so at the start of the second half as well. Cesar Rouge on 45, and now Tom Johnston has got a fifth try for Catalan of the afternoon. That's Abdul's first conversion miss. He converted the Rouge try. It is Warrington Wolves 12, Catalan 28, less than half an hour to go.
Our next commentary is at Villa Park. Aston Villa against Wolves at 5:30, and Aston Villa fans will be keeping an eye on Tottenham's progress, as is Chris Cole.
Spurs are purring now, still 1-1 with Luton, but they are completely transformed from their lethargic first half performance. Heung-min Son, excellent chance, well found, 6 yards out, his right foot shot well saved by Thomas Kaminski. All Tottenham now, 1-1 with Luton.
Remember, Rangers are still leading Hibs by 2-1. That would take them 2 clear of Celtic, who are at bottom of the table. Livingston tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Regular updates into 5 Live Premier League Sunday, where we have commentaries tomorrow of Liverpool Brighton at 2, and then Manchester City Arsenal at 4:30. It's the ball given away by Forrest to Ayew, who shoots right-footed, and it's a dragged effort, well off target for a goal kick. Back to Will Perry at Chelsea.
Still Chelsea 1, 10-man Burnley 1. Cucurella with a cross which has just been turned behind, so Chelsea will have a corner. It's a long time for Burnley to hold out. Remember, Assignon sent off in the first half. That led to the Cole Palmer-Panenka penalty before that great leveller from Josh Cullen. And Vincent Kompany also in the stands here at Stamford Bridge. 1-1.
Feels very flat here, Pat.
It does, and you expect somebody, one of the players, a captain, anyone, just to get his players and say, come on, we need to raise the tempo here. There doesn't seem to be anyone capable of doing it, I would say, other than on the left-hand side here. Adoy's done a little bit alongside Ena, but other than that, very, very flat within the team. But it only takes one chance.
Origi battling to the ball on the far side, helped out by Nico Williams, goes on a run towards the byline, sends over the cross, Wood rises, Ilanga was also there, and then Ilanga and Hudson-Odoi left it for each other as the ball was running away towards the byline on this left-hand side. They just about kept the ball in play. Aina shoots, that strikes the legs of Ward, bounces into the penalty area, headed out by Mitchell. Crystal Palace now a little bit on the back foot. Ezedin will look to head it away. Felipe comes across and heads it forward towards Origi. Lets it settle right touchline level of the area. Mateta back helping out, and then the clearance from Richards up towards the halfway line.
Do you know what happens in these sort of games? You go along and they can't get the pace lifted, and then with 5 minutes to go they lift it, and you always think, well, why did you not do that 25 minutes ago?
Here is Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi with a cross. I was going to say too close to the goalkeeper. Anderson prevented it from reaching him as he heads it behind for a corner, but Henderson has actually gone down.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with him.
Well, he's gone down a very strange angle, but he's not.
I've just seen him put the thumbs up.
Yeah, he's going to be absolutely fine. I suspect. But once again, he's got a little bump. It has to be said, he has got a little bump. It's coming out there. The same for Aston as well. He didn't cover enough of that ball there, but he's got a little bit of an elbow on his shoulder. He will manage.
And he's quickly back to his feet. Now you can hear the Forest supporters. Trailing still by 1-0. Corner kick near side to left. Gibbs White to take it. Right-footed. Keeper under real pressure. Almost dropped onto the goal line before it was cleared away. Giovanni Reina is going to be coming on. He's not been involved in the last three. He did score for the United States against Mexico last weekend. As we go to Bramall Lane and Katie Smith.
And the atmosphere punctured almost immediately. Sheffield United 1, Fulham 1, an equaliser for Pellegrini, a corner from the right-hand side, header at the near post, and it just goes past everyone. 1-1.
Sheffield United 1, Fulham 1, Spurs 1, Luton 1, Chelsea 1, the 10-minute Burnley 1, still goalless between Bournemouth and Everton. It's the Premier League, it's live on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and also the World Service. As Forrest cross from the right-hand side, cut out by Anderson inside the penalty area. Richards is then closed down by Origi. It'll be a Crystal Palace throw. Down by the corner flag, deep inside their own half, as Reina arrived in January on a loan from Borussia Dortmund. The American international coming on for just his 5th appearance, and he's replacing Origi. We will go to John Southall at Bournemouth.
Well, it's Bournemouth 0, Everton 0. Everton enjoy a good spell here. Dwan McNeil, tight angle on the right, hit the left post off a defender and cleared away. And Tavernier has just smashed a shot wide for Bournemouth. Bournemouth 0, Everton 0.
You thinking Elanga to go wide right?
Well, first of all, Origi is no surprise whatsoever because, you know, the intensity wasn't there. He just wasn't. He didn't seem to be getting it at all, how important this is. But there's a number of options you could do it. And, you know, in these sort of situations, make it quite fluid. Give questions that Crystal Palace haven't been answered already. One thing I wouldn't change is Hudson-Odoi. Keep him left. He's dangerous there.
Sprightly at the moment. Reina gets a little touch. Gibbs-White lifts it forward. Wood's made the run. The back header from Wood. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Wood. Over the despairing dive of Dean Henderson. And Chris Wood, who really has thrived under Nuno Espirito Santo, has scored his 7th goal in 8 Premier League games. And that offers Forrest real hope. He took it so well. 1-1.
Well, the imagination is fantastic. You know, I'll always tell you about the player who's actually created the chance. Well, you're right about Wood. He's got his back to it. He's running away from the goal. That is a very, very tough chance there. So the ball's played on, and we were talking earlier on about Gibbs-White. Very, very few chances to get the ball with a couple of yards of space. They did. Dropped into the pocket. Quarterback, little flick there. Genius ball. Genius finish.
It's a lovely ball in as well, wasn't it, from Gibbs-White? The flight on it.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the imagination you have to play that ball, it's not a natural ball. It's on a line with the post, the near post there, from a kind of deep area. Now, it's one of those ones normally you'd have a shorter play to the back post, but he sees Woods in and he knows his capability. Now we're going to hear about Valencia.
St Johnstone, incidentally, had equalised against Dundee in the Scottish Premiership. St Johnstone 1, Dundee 1. And every game in the Premier League at 3 o'clock is level pegging. Here at the City Ground, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Tottenham, and in fact change that, it's no longer level at Bournemouth. There's been a goal. Joe Southall.
Bournemouth have the lead. Bournemouth 1, Everton 0. Cross from the left-hand side. Solanke got in between the centre halves and headed in from 4 yards out. His 16th Premier League goal of the season. That equalled the club record. Bournemouth 1, Everton 0.
But that goal for Nottingham Forest, bearing in mind they didn't have their first shot on target until 7 minutes into the second half. Well, in fact, listen to the atmosphere now. It's given everybody a little bit more, something to cling to.
Yeah, and watch the players now. They should lift from it as well. The greatest come on now, and you know, a little bit liveliness, a little bit of dig there as well. But just that little dropping back he got from Gibbs-White, he sees the game in front of him now. And because he sees the game in front of him, he's getting more time instead of people tackling from the back.
Ball chipped forward by Yates. Amazing how a game can just change in a very short period of time. As Eza back towards Anderson. Lerma comes under pressure from Reina, adjudged to have been fouled. That will be a free kick. Get another update in the Rugby League, Ian Chisnell.
Warrington back in it again. Warrington 18, Catalan 28. James Harrison crashing over on 53 minutes from very close range. Phillips added the extras. Warrington 18, Catalan 28, 23 remaining.
Earlier, Newcastle United beat West Ham United by 4 goals to 3. They were 3-1 down. They produced some fightbacks this season at St James's Park. If you recall, they were 4-2 down against Luton earlier in the year. Anthony Gordon later sent off, but Harvey Barnes with 2 goals. Newcastle 4, West Ham 3. Bournemouth are ahead, level at Stamford Bridge, Bramall Lane and at Tottenham, and now here at the City Ground on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. Rangers are leading Hibs by 2 goals to 1 at the top of the Scottish Premiership, and still Dundee United at the top of the Scottish Championship in that top of the table clash against Raith are leading by a goal to 0. That would take them 4 points clear of Raith. As Forest, Gibbs White coming forward, bit of room to run into. Gibbs White passes the ball, Ilanga into the area, challenge comes in from Mitchell. They're looking for a free kick, not awarded by referee Chris Kavanagh.
Oh, that's a big call there. It's just outside the box. It went down. Not that many complaints from the attacker, though, it has to be said. But what a difference in Gibbs White now, but we'll get back to him in a moment.
Long clearance by Henderson for Crystal Palace. Mateta takes Murillo with him. Williams also snapping away at his heels as Mateta's ever so well to hold on to the ball. And in fact, the decision goes against Mateta, and it will be a Forest throw over on that far side. Jeffrey Schlupp is going to be coming on very soon. That roar from the Forest crowd actually coincided with, I was about to say, where are we going to go next? And then all of a sudden it quietened down and the producer bellowed in my ear to tell me you've had a goal, Katie Smith.
Sheffield United 2, Fulham 1. The home side back in front. They had a free kick 25 yards out, left-hand side, taken really quickly. Ben Diaz cuts back to McBurney, who tags it home 2-1.
Only 1 win in 9 in all competitions for Chris Wilder's side. As the change is going to be happening, Jordan Ayew is coming off. He scored for Ghana in the internationals with a penalty against Nigeria. So he is off. Jeffrey Schlupp is replaced, a Ghanaian for a Ghanaian, and back after an absence of 4 games with a thigh injury. As once again, the Forest bench have just had a little bit of a talking to from the officials. Straight to Chelsea and Will Perry.
Chelsea 1, Burnley 1, Burnley down to 10. Foster's header kept out by a decent Petrovic save. His acrobatic rebound blocked by Badia Shield. Jackson's just been denied by Muric. Madueke on for Gallagher. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1.
Well, tomorrow we'll focus on the top of the table, but today, for the time being, in these 3 o'clocks, we're focusing down on the bottom, and we've got a very, very interesting closing, 25 minutes of this Saturday afternoon in the top flight, with the results as they stand, as Mateta keeps the ball in play, works over the cross. Here is Schlupp, looks for an opportunity, bundled off the ball, and then cleared away by Sells, only as far as Anderson. Crystal Palace now in the Forest half, with Wharton able to turn. Sunshine once again, passes the ball out towards Richards. Haven't really seen much of Palace as an attacking full second half.
No, they hadn't even considered attacking. They're just going to hold on to 1-0. That's exactly their mindset. However, that's not good enough for them now. We actually might get a much, much better game now for this last 25 minutes or so, because both teams now actually want to go and score.
Kilmarnock have equalised at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Killy 1. Ball out by Mitch on that far side from Schlupp. In comes the cross. Munoz tried to get on the end of it. Forrest clear the ball away, only as far as Richards. Heads it forward. Lerma lets it drop off his chest. Passes the ball back towards Ward. Forward then to Lerma once again. Eza passes the ball back, and they've got a degree of control now as we approach the midway point of the second half here on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. As Eza looks for the run of Mitchell and gets there, does Mitchell, and the cross cut out behind for a corner. Goal at Bramall Lane, Katie Smith.
And can you believe it? Another one for the home side. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1. This time a header from Ben Diaz. There was a bit of an issue. All the Sheffield United players piling in on the goal after it went in, and Bernd Leno was underneath it, the Fulham goalkeeper. So Fulham not very happy with that. It does look like this goal stands though. There's been a pause. We're about to kick off. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1.
Corner already taken, and it comes towards Wharton just outside the D. Wharton, and he tried to place it left-footed. It was always on the rise. Goal kick, Pat Nevin.
How incredible is it that there was no effort for Palace to really go for it, try and attack. There was a goal, and they hold the ball brilliantly after that. I mean, it just shows you the capability that they've actually got. They're not going at it 100%. They'll have to now, because Forest are up for it.
Let's get news of that Kilmarnock equaliser. Connie McLaughlin.
Yeah, Kelly, our level, an absolute screamer it was from about 20 yards out, I would say. Left-footed shot from Marley Watkins for his 9th goal of the season. An absolute bullet into the back of the net. Xander Clark had no chance. And you know, Kelly have got a bit of a habit of comebacks it seems this season. Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 1.
Here is Eza, sharp turn, left corner of the area. Eza getting away from the challenge, he's still going. Stuff is there, it might fall back towards Eza. Tries to find goal, it's blocked by Sells. Mateta prods it away and behind for a goal kick. Well, now they're starting to cause Forest problems.
You know, I mean, he's created the first goal, Eza. He should have scored himself, but it was well saved in the first half. That run there, he just glides past 3, 4, 5 players. It's totally effortless for him, but you do want him to do it a wee bit more often. If you're a player, if you're here, just someone who wants to see skills and wants to see excitement, but when he runs, there's very few in his standard in this, well, certainly in this game, even in this league.
Yeah, it was the legs of Sells, I think, that diverted the effort away from Eberici Eza. 1-1 it remains. So at the bottom you've got Everton are losing. You've then got Burnley, Luton Town and Nottingham Forest, who are all drawing, and Sheffield United are winning 3-1 at home to Fulham. Sports report with Alistair Bruce-Paul in about 20 minutes time. When this game finishes, then our reporters will dash off to the tunnel. So at 5 o'clock they'll be primed and in position for as much live reaction for Sports Report, with the results and the reaction to come from 5. As Yates snapping against Lerma, as a judge who actually had been fouled by Lerma, and he wants to take the free kick, but he couldn't take it quickly enough.
Well, he should have taken it, because had he taken it quickly, Lerma would have got in the way, and he would have probably got a free kick again and a yellow card for Lerma.
So that would be a yellow card. No attempt to play the ball, literally tap the heels of Elena to bring him down, and it will be a yellow to Jeffrey Schlupp, the Crystal Palace substitute. It remains 1-1. Under 20 minutes remaining here at the City Ground.
But, you know, since they scored the goal, they've been pushed back a little bit, Nottingham Forest. They haven't got up to the wide right or wide left. You wondered, had they scored that goal, the lift they gave the fans, would they dominate the game? Would they take over the game? No, not yet.
Gibbs White stands over the free kick. 10 yards in from the left touch line. Forest, red shirts, white shorts, playing from right to left, attacking the Trent end of the ground. Crystal Palace have got every white shirt by Eza on the edge of their own penalty area. It's Gibbs White, it's dropping, it's curling, the downward header by Wood, straight at Sells. Incidentally, Chris Wood, the 5th Forest player to reach double figures in a Premier League season. Stan Collymore did it with 22, Brian Roy 13, Nigel Clough 10, Awonyi 10 last season. And Chris Wood, although he's 11th of the season overall, it's his 10th in the top flight. After Sports Report, our next commentaries at Villa Park. Team News, Conor McNamara.
And 2 changes for Aston Villa from their draw at West Ham. Diego Carlos returns to the defence. He takes the place of Clement Longley. Moussa Diaby played for France in the international break. He's back in the team, preferred to John Duran. And the main team news for Wolves, 18-year-old Leon Chiwome is given his Premier League debut.
And Connor is joined by the former England international goalkeeper Paul Robinson. Commentary from Villa Park at 5:30. Spurs, incidentally, 5th, 3 points behind Villa at the start of play, still being held by Luton Town 1-1. Nottingham Forest with Elanga. Midway through the Crystal Palace half, passes the ball back. Murillo, his early ball finds Aina on this near side. Right-footed forward ball now with Hudson-Odoi level with the area. It's a right-footed cross. Anderson heads it away. He had a leaping Wood behind him.
You know, really good Crystal Palace. They've realised how important Callum Hudson-Odoi is for the team. And every time he gets the ball now, he's got 2. He can never really get past Munoz, because he's going to have the right full-back, the right centre-back, Joe Ward, to come over as well. So, really clever play by Palace there.
It's on a knife edge at the moment. There's a lovely ball from Gibbs White to Wood. And an outstretched right boot. They brought it down with the outside of the right foot. Couldn't control it. Crystal Palace now could potentially strike on the counter-attack, but Eza likewise. Forest actually did well, got 4 red shirts back to deal with Eza and Mateta.
Oh, what incredible how defending. Sometimes it's great. What goes in this time when he shouldn't have gone in, and only have a chance there for that man Wood, but it just could not bring it down.
Here is Hudson-Odoi. Elanga wants the return ball. Hudson-Odoi slows it down, left corner of the area. Now he finds Elanga still on this near side the left. Passes the ball back. 17 minutes remain. Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1. And anything could still change down at the bottom of the Premier League on this crucial Saturday afternoon. Elanga, challenge from behind, releases the ball though to Hudson-Odoi, running on his toes, left-hand side, passes the ball now towards Rayner. Rayner onto his left foot. Rayner beaten away by the goalkeeper. Hit it firmly left left-footed, it was on the rise, but Henderson made a very good save.
They look better with Rayner in there. Gibbs White further back, controlling the play with everything in front of him, and Rayner trying to get forward, trying to get in the edge of the box a few times. That looks a better, more lively midfield than they had before.
They've got a free kick, which they've taken quickly. Gibbs White to Hudson-Odoi, looks to go on the outside of Munoz. Hudson-Odoi with a cross, Anderson with a header away, only as far as Gibbs White! And it was a rising effort on the half volley, right-footed, that whistled over the crossbar. Much better from Nottingham Forest. They look a team transformed.
They do, and it's just the changes, and of course the question you're going to ask is why couldn't you start those players at the start of the game? But Gibbs White, he wants to play a little bit further out the field, but he was getting no space. He's getting space now. Him and Rayner, well, as if they played together forever.
Back to Warrington we go, Ian Chisnell.
13 minutes to go, just 4 points between them. George Williams, just before the hour, slicing through the French defence. Soulis added the extras. Warrington 24, Catalan 28.
Ball cleared by Henderson. Murillo loses out in the air to Mateta. Comes out to this near side. Munoz won't keep it in play. It'll be a Forest throw. On the balance of play, the last 5 minutes, if there was to be a goal, if you were a betting man, you'd say it'd be Forest.
But the big thing is it's changed so much. After Forest equalised, complete control of the game, then switched over to Palace. And it's as if they thought we better stay up for a little bit now. You feel as if Palace have got gears when they fancy it, but they only kept it going for about 10 minutes, and then Forest have come back into it again. So yeah, it is going to and fro just now, but right at this moment as we speak, yeah, Forest look a little bit better, but it could change.
Bournemouth 1, Everton 0. Chelsea 1, the 10 men of Burnley 1. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1. Tottenham 1, Luton Town 1 are the latest scores after the result earlier of Newcastle United 4, West Ham United 3. And we'll get an update from Rangers at Ibrox, Ailey Barber.
Rangers still leading here by 2-1, and they've had the better chances in this second half. Cyril Dessers in particular guilty of missing a real clear-cut opportunity, but a nerviness around Ibrox with the narrow lead here. They know every goal and every point counts in this title race, and currently they are top of the Scottish Premiership as they lead by 2-1.
Yes, and it's a 2-point lead too that they would have over Celtic, who go to Livingston tomorrow, and then the Old Firm meet next week.
Yeah, which would be quite incredible. Of course, there will be nervy at Ibrox because right at the end of the first half, they lost a goal to Hibs because one goal's never enough to be comfortable.
As Crystal Palace have found out. And they were pegged back by a Forest side that are now looking to try and edge their way ahead as Elanga, the substitute, far side the right, keeps the ball in play down on that touchline. Down towards the corner flag he goes. Looks for the supporting run of Rayner. Cleared by Palace, out for a throw. Less than 14 minutes remaining. Motherwell, incidentally, have got an equaliser at Fair Park. Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1 is a latest score. Nottingham Forest with a throw. Rayner running forward with the cross. It was cleared by Anderson and then helped further away, and then Elanga has jumped into Mitchell, and that's alerted the assistant referee. We'll go to Tottenham. Chris Coles.
Still 1-1 with Luton, but another massive chance for Spurs squandered by Brennan Johnson right in front of the goalkeeper. Got a little touch on it. It went across the line, hit the post. I must admit, I thought it crossed the line. We all looked at the referee, but he said it didn't cross the line. So we are still at Spurs 1, Luton 1.
Henderson is taking his time. There are a few whistles.
See if you added up how much time he's taken for his goal kicks and his free kicks from back there. It'd be a hell of a long time.
He did start early as well, didn't he? Hughes is going to be coming on for Crystal Palace. They're going to be making a change. Meanwhile, Hudson-Odoi carrying the ball forward on this near left touchline. At pace, level with the area. Fancy little footwork. Always the net superb as Hudson-Odoi. Aina. Little touch by Gibbs White. Back towards Murillo. Crystal Palace have everybody back. Every outfield player now is in the Palace half. Away towards our left-hand side. And then Forest have lost it. And Eza floats it forward. The flag for the time being stays down. Mateta looked tight. Makes the run. And he was saying he was coming back and he was onside. So it'll be a throw to Palace as Aberdeen lead Ross County 2-1 at Pittodrie. Now it was Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1. There's been another goal. Katie Smith.
I cannot believe this. Sheffield United 4, Fulham 1. Free kick, left-hand side, 11 yards out. Hammer in swinging. It pings around the box and falls to Ollie McBurney, his second of the night. We're bathed in sunshine here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 4, Fulham 1.
would suggest that Chris Wilder might have match of the day tonight at 10:30 on BBC One. I was going to say on tape, but on record. There might be a few pints flowing in South Yorkshire.
I suggest you may watch it this time. I suppose the other times we might not bother. Just a little moment there. I mean, the tackle there from Felipe on the far side there had to be right. He's already on a yellow. He made it perfectly well. He likes tackling that lad, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Dundee United, incidentally, at the top of the Scottish Championship, have got a second goal. So Dundee United now will be 4 points clear of Raith Rovers as they lead Raith at Tannadice by 2-0. I know a certain someone who'll be very happy with that scoreline. Will Hughes waits still to come on. We've got 11 minutes remaining. The weak spring sunshine now here at the City Ground as Mateta gives chase, and it will go out of play for a throw. And I wonder what reception a former Derby County player will get. Oh, almost on cue.
I think you can see that one coming just a little bit. Just watching as Watson's going to come off now. Hughes is going to come on. Understand why they're doing that. A lot of effort being put in that midfield now. Just wants it spiced up a little bit.
So Wharton is off, Hughes is on, and we will exchange the City Ground for the sounds of Will Perry in West London.
Chelsea 1, 10-man, Burnley 1 as Chelsea come forward, and it's that man again, Cole Palmer, who slots into the bottom right-hand corner. Past Muric, who's had a brilliant game. Palmer, who scored the first goal with a Panenka penalty, puts Chelsea in front. Wanted to tell you as well that Raheem Sterling off the bench for Chelsea to Stamford Bridge cheers after last week's booze. Now Chelsea 2, Burnley 1.
And we're going back to Katie because, Katie...
That goal, has been ruled out. So Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1. Vinny Souza in an offside position. The deflection off him. The ball came back to McBurney before he scored. So offside, goal ruled out. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 1.
A pensive Nuno Espirito Santo is deep in thought in his technical area. Still, Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1. Everton are still behind. 11 without a win in the Premier League since they actually played Burnley in mid-December. Here is Elanga, forward, spreads it, left-hand side, finds Hudson-Odoi left corner of the area. Hudson-Odoi tried to nick it back into Elanga. Crystal Palace still defending. Aina to Rayner on the stretch, balloons up, passes the ball towards Elanga. He tells Aina, pass it out towards Hudson-Odoi, plays the ball, cute, inside towards Rayner, passes it back to Felipe. He's forward now of the centre circle. Still 1-1 on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds, and 9 minutes remain. But Forest are pressing. Hudson-Odoi, he's the go-to man it seems, on this near side, the left. But they've doubled up on him. But he manages to wriggle away and win it back. And then he was fouled, and it's a free kick. Pat Nevin.
Well, doubled and trebled and sometimes quadrupled up on him. Every time he gets the ball, he's got a whole host of wide shots around him. The big problem he's got, and it is a problem, he's playing on the left-hand side there, and given his due, Hudson-Odoi to try and go down the left-hand side, but on his left foot is not brilliant. And just now and again he should maybe switch wings. That would maybe help him a little bit.
Now free kick here to Nottingham Forest in a very dangerous position. And Gibbs White is the player who stands over it. Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace have got everybody back. It's 1-1. And we're getting to that time where Crystal Palace have had a tendency to concede late goals. Gibbs White, stuttering run-up, right-footed towards the far post. Henderson again did well to punch that ball away. Another goal at Bramall Lane, Katie Smith.
Back in this, Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2, pulling one back just as Sheffield United have one disallowed. Bobby D Cordova-Reid, who's come on as a substitute. Really nice shot from outside the area. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2.
St Johnstone 1, Dundee 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Chris Kavanagh is awarded a free kick in favour of the away team.
That is one of those classic ones. The fact that he Lerma rolled 4 times there, I suggest he's probably not that badly injured, because you don't roll when you're injured. Nothing wrong with him. Aina's gone down just now, and it's a real shame for Aina because he's tried to play through it, and I'd say in the last 10 or 15 minutes he's got 3 or 4 different things. He is wiped out. He's nothing left, and will that be Toffolo?
Yeah.
So he comes on for him.
Toffolo's going to come on. I mean, he had been missing as well with that hamstring injury. I don't think they're prepared to risk that, bearing in mind that they're at home to Fulham on Tuesday. Then they travel next weekend to Tottenham, and then they've got Wolves to come after that. So Harry Toffolo is going to be coming on.
We're getting quite annoyed over there by, I looked at Lerma there, they're rolling about there. Absolutely nothing wrong with them there. So, shouts of cheap for them.
Tottenham 1, Luton 1, Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2, Bournemouth 1, Everton 0, 1-1 here, and another goal at Stamford Bridge, Will Ferry.
And Burnley with 10 men level again. Chelsea 2, Burnley 2. It's from a corner, and it's Dara O'Shea, his flick header, which should have been saved by Petrovic, who's had a really good game. It's gone through his hands into the back of the net, and it's Chelsea 2, Burnley 2.
Match of the day tonight certainly has a few goals. 10:30 BBC 1.
Some upset fans at Stamford Bridge, and they will be staggered if they don't win against 10 men. Burnley after being up twice.
Just a stoppage in play here. Chris Kavanagh is calling a Crystal Palace player towards him.
I think it'll be Lerner maybe for rolling about and diving as if he's been poleaxed there when there might not have been any contact at all.
Well, there's been a goal at Bournemouth, John Southall.
And Everton are back in it. Bournemouth 1, Everton 1, who's across from the left-hand side. The keeper Neto came for it, didn't get there. VAR's just looked at it because there was Beto and he nodded it in. And Everton are back in it. Bournemouth 1, Everton 1.
Hughes finds Mateta. Schlupp couldn't control the ball on the edge of the area, and it was an awkward spinning ball that eventually Matt Sells gathered in. It was 1-1 at Tottenham. It's no longer 1-1. A goal for Scholes.
And a big one for Spurs in their quest for a top 4 finish. It had been coming. Luton were tiring, and Spurs through their captain lead. Heung-min Son, edge of the area. His right foot shot took a very unfortunate deflection past Thomas Kaminski. And it's Tottenham 2, Luton 1 with 4 minutes to play.
And as a result of that, Nottingham Forest will climb out of the relegation zone as it stands. No, they won't. Yes, they will on goal difference.
It's incredible.
They go to 22
by
points.
the way, it's going to change constantly. No little chance there. There's a little tackle about Williams. Not spoken a great deal about him this afternoon at the right full back position for Nottingham Forest. I think he's been superb today. He's had a hard job to do against Eze, but he's kept him quiet for large parts of it. However, giving away a free kick there is about 28, 29 yards out. Eze fancies this one, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Forest have a superior goal difference at the minute of 3, in contrast to that of Luton Town. So Forest, for the first time in the relegation zone this season, have a point that will take them out of the bottom 3 as it stands.
Well, the free kick that puts them back in it now.
Well, Crystal Palace do have a free kick, which is fractionally left of centre. It's not quite 30 yards out from goal, but Eze is certainly more than capable. And he gets the ball back from Hughes, and then he tries to take it the long way around. And Eze enters the penalty area, and the ball, last touch, came off a Forest player, and it will be a corner kick to Crystal Palace.
It's a really strange free kick that, because when you touch it to somebody and they touch it back to you, think it should be a shot. I don't think that's what he wanted. I think he wanted to run at the defenders. It was a very unusual way to take a free kick, but that's Eddie. Just once on the ball every time.
Crystal Palace, corner kick far side to left. There is a hush inside the City ground as Crystal Palace hit the post, comes out towards Hughes, and left-footed drives the ball over the top.
There was a free kick in the melee there, but it was after the ball had hit the post there. That's how close they are. It's incredible.
Let's go to Bramall Lane, Katie Smith.
Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2, but we've just had boos ringing around because they have just announced 14 added minutes. I'm not entirely sure where they've all come from. Fulham pressing as well. They've just had a corner, another shot on target, saved there by Gerbich. Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2.
Mateta. Munoz was in the thick of it as that effort had hit the post for Palace. Here is Schlupp. And he tees up Mitchell, who has a swing it out. Sorry, Lerma, who has a swing it out. He's off target, and it will be a goal kick.
Again, it's just swung the other way now. There's a few minutes where Palace have been much, much better. Again, getting it to Eze a few times. Manchester has made himself very, very big and dangerous in the centre of that box there. But at this point in time, this game, if anybody wins it, it's going to be harsh on the other team.
High ball forward. Hudson-Odoi on this near side to left. Munoz is back with him. Still 1-1. Hudson-Odoi. Ball to Rayner, lays it off to Toffolo, the left back on this near side. Toffolo strokes it back. Hudson-Odoi collects it just inside the penalty area. Ball headed out by Lerma. There's been another goal at Bournemouth. Joel Southall.
And have Bournemouth 1 now. Bournemouth 2, Everton 1. A right match from Everton. Cross from the right-hand side. Pickford left it. Seamus Coleman chested it. And in it went. An own goal. Bournemouth 2, Everton 1.
Bournemouth 2, Everton 1, Chelsea 2, the 10 men of Burnley 2, Sheffield United 3, Fulham 2, Tottenham 2, Luton Town 1. Luton, who had led in that game, 1-1 here, ball lifted forward, Mateta gives chase, Felipe comes across, onto his toes, heads it for his defensive partner Murillo, gives White, passes the ball to Toffolo, the left back head down, running forward now, over the halfway line, still looking, he's got Hudson-Odoi ahead of him, he passes it to Hudson-Odoi, little flick back inside to Toffolo, closed down by Hughes, behind it goes for Forest corner, 1-1.
Toffolo's got a bit of a left because he's going from Aina. Aina was tiring, wasn't getting forward. Toffolo is fresh and willing to get up there, working well alongside